Today's video is brought to you by Ren.
Welcome to another Rimworld video. Today's topic, ending the game. Rimworld is a storytelling engine, and like all stories, they have an ending. Ironically, even the never-ending story. But anyway, this video will be talking about each different ending, including the as of writing 2 DLCs, as well as advice on how to achieve these endings. First up is one many new players will discover, the colony end ending. Pretty straightforward to how to get it. Just lose all your colonists and you get the ending. Yes, this is technically an ending, though it also is a beginning. See, this is what is called a temporary ending. It is an ending to the story, but it can also continue if you continue to play the map and wait. A colonist may join, or perhaps a refugee runs in looking for aid, but there is nothing. You can come back from this, I think. Don't know, never continued after the colony died, so people, if you have done that before, let us know. Be a great story to hear. Though there is one other obscure ending, the Planet Killer ending. Yeah, you might not know this one, but there is an option in setting up the new custom game for the Planet Killer scenario. As the name implies, your planet is about ready to go the way of Alderaan, and it's up to you to get off that rock. I can't really give much advice outside of do not waste any time. This is a permanent ending, meaning you cannot continue the story when you lose. You can reload an old save, but that's it. We will talk about the ways off the planet with the other endings, but I figured I'd put this here as the other bad ending a player can get in Rimworld. Now for the classic ending, the ship launch. The one where you go out into space to find a new home and to listen to that awesome credits song, which I can't play due to copyright. For this one, you will need to research the endgame tree and construct your escape ship. Sounds simple, right? A lot of research and maybe hunting out more exotic materials to make it all. Yeah, no, there is one big catch. The onboard computer AI needs 15 days to warm up. During that time, you will be constantly attacked by raiders and mechanoids. Heck, even insects might pop up for a piece of you. So what's our advice for dealing with this? First off, stockpile a ton of food and medicine, because I'm going to recommend you turn off any jobs that don't involve building, hauling, and most importantly, medical. Pawns are going to get hurt and you won't have time to make food and medicine. Same with drugs. I recommend stockpiling drugs like goat juice and even luciferium for when things get rough. Given this is the end game, a pawn taking luciferium isn't going to be as much of a problem. And if you don't have a lot of the stuff to keep up the addictions, you can always put them into the ship's cryo-sleep pod and have them wait it out. Goat juice is great for keeping people in the fight and letting your medics keep working through the night. If you want to use wake up, going to be as much of a problem. And if you don't have a lot of the stuff to keep up the addictions, you can always put them into the ship's cryo-sleep pod and have them wait it out. Goat juice is great for keeping people in the fight and letting your medics keep working through the night. If you want to use wake up for that, you can do that, but remember there is always that 1% chance of a heart attack. Finally, the biggest thing you should know, you don't have to build that whole ship to start the 15 days. You can just set up the computer and turn it on, preferably in a closed off room with 3 layers of wall. Then, when the fighting is over, clean up and build the ship and leave. That's about it outside of normal killbox advice you can find on this channel or the internet, though there are some of the key things to give you an edge in taking on the horde. While I got you, mind hitting that subscribe button, really helps us out. Most of you aren't subscribed. While you're at it, check out the Patreon. $1 a month goes a long way for us on the team, so we can keep doing what we love. Wow, it's getting hot in here. If only there was a way to cool this place down. Has climate change got you sweating? Do you wish you could turn down the heat? Every day we contribute to the CO2 in the atmosphere. Ren offers a low-cost carbon offset subscription that helps plant trees, conserve land, and push a greener agenda. One of my favorite projects by Ren is biochar in California. Biochar helps prevent wildfires by clearing out old dead trees and turns them into biochar. This helps prevent forest fires in the future. Offset your carbon footprint with Ren. The first 100 people to sign up with the link in the description will have 10 extra trees planted in their name. So when it comes to the ship escape ending, that isn't the only way off the planet. If you don't want to go through all the research, you can always get a call from a friendly AI from your past whom I'm sure isn't evil and just wants to do you a solid. Yeah, He has a ship waiting for you on the planet. That's great. What's the catch? Well, yeah, no matter what type of game you play, that ship will always be on the other side of the planet from you. So pros, you don't have to make a research. The ship cons, you'd still have to get there and you have to wait 15 days to actually launch the ship and be attacked. Though I suppose there is one good thing about doing it from there. Your colony wealth will be much lower, so the raids won't be as big. So yeah, there's that. Same advice applies, though it might be easier or harder depending on your loadout or era of technology. I don't tend to go for this ending due to the effort to make it and defend it, but if you want to roleplay a nomadic group with mods or to challenge yourself, give it a shot. It's worth it. I think for this next one, we need a change of scenery. Much better, because if you have the royalty DLC, you can go for a whole new ending, leaving with the Stellarch and becoming nobility on some high-tech luxury world. But how does one become a noble and get this ending? Well, first off, you have to have a pawn, gain political honor, and obtain the royal titles of Count and Countess. Then, after doing this, set up your base with a fancy royal room for guests who will be staying for 15 days. Yes, this is the end game of setting up a ship. So what's different about this one? Psychic powers, baby. Yeah, royalty gave pawns the ability to use psychic powers, and nobility can get access to some pretty cool stuff. More so, being royals give you favors like calling in workers and, more importantly, expendable troopers to die for you. Plus, the royal guest who you have to keep alive will come with their own entourage of troops. Yeah, I find this ending to be the easier of the endings. You get psychic powers. It's somewhat easy to keep your royal guests happy. They bring in fighting help, and you can use the royal favors to turn the tide. Of course, there are some slight problems going this route. Pawns with greedy, jealous, or the abrasive trait as they gain titles will stop doing certain orders. After all, why not let some peasant do your job? You're too important. You'll have to put aside a lot more rare resources to make finer throne rooms or bedrooms, which could be used for the colony. And of course, you will have to play nice with the Empire, do their tasks if you want more honor, but hey, that's the noble life unless you want to turn on them. Of course, there is no ending involving that, but hey, figured I'd mention it. Finally, there is one last ending, provided by the Ideology DLC, Awakening the Arconexus. What is the Arconexus? Who knows? It's a powerful machine that may or may not be the universe's version of God. So how do you find it? First, play the game and work to get your base value up, because soon you will get an offer to sell your base to a group to gain information to an Arco machine with a map piece. Wash, rinse, and repeat until you achieve enlightenment. Okay, the details, of course, honestly. First off, you need to get the value to 350,000 at least. Then after selling your base, you will be able to bring up to 5 colonists, 5 animals, a relic of your ideology, and 7 different items. Oh, and your relationships and research will be reset to base game, i.e. classic start level of tech. I know that sounds bad, but you can pick out the spot for your new base, and depending on what you brought, you might be able to quickly amass up that value to do it 2 more times. Though you may notice in your new base some new structures to protect. Your pawns need to research them to understand the map piece before moving on. Oh, and they give psychic influence, so be careful of mood breaks. After you make it through 3 bases, you finally can make it to the Arconexus and, well, end the game. Who knows what happens to your colonists? Even the game doesn't quite know. But do be careful of mechanoids there. Be pretty crappy if your pawns died at the final stretch. Do I like this ending? I think it's pretty unique, and the concept of discovering the past to make a new feature is a pretty cool sci-fi concept, but my suggestions to succeeding: just play smart. I'd say it's pretty easy compared to other endings due to being able to pick out what you bring each new base, and if you game the relic system, like making a relic super powerful, armor or charge lance or something to that end, you will have a great edge for moving forward. When it comes to endings in Rimworld, I think they are fun and varied. Hopefully in the future we can get even more endings, though I'm being honest, I don't know what to add. Tell you what, let us know how you would add an ending to Rimworld. I'd love to hear it. Now, if you